Welcome to Spurs Vision TV. Right, it's a good evening to all you guys in Asia, and of course, good afternoon, you all guys in Europe, and especially Ian and Alan. One is in England, and the other one is in Scotland. Right, and of course to you guys in the Americas, North and South. Right, especially to Brian Daigle. Big up to Brian. Right, he says he might pop on later just for guest
Right.
appearance. Right. But of course, we're all happy. We beat West Ham. Yay.
Yeah. You can't ever be unhappy beating them.
Yeah. But guys, I guess everybody's been celebrating that victory, right? So, and after that, to tell the truth, I think West Ham were a bit lethargic on that day. So, going through the review, at least we did what we had to do. We scored first, we scored two, but then I think I was doing the watch along with Jens and Jamie. We were going. I'm having PTSD when we were at 2-0. Right, and I keep saying, don't make it three. Don't make it three. If you make it three, right, I'll be remembering last year. I'll be having flashbacks.
Yeah.
I must admit, I said the
Uh,
night before on another
yeah.
another show. It might have only been in the chat, but I said I think if we had gone 3-0 up, I wouldn't have been as worried because of what they had played on Thursday. Because the way they
Yeah.
had that 120 minutes, I
Yeah.
thought 3-0 would be a lot safer this time. So
Yeah. No, but then when they scored that goal from Benrahma, right, I
yeah,
was going, okay, it's happening. It's
yeah,
happening. But now we held on. I think, uh, I mean, we were more or less in control. They look lethargic, right? Yeah. Don't you think so? They
Yeah,
look a bit leggy on that day.
I think you've summed it up well, and I think what impressed me, and you said about being in control, was I thought our game management was excellent on Monday. There was a period where the statistic came up on the Sky broadcast. I don't know if you'd have got it where you were, but the West Ham had 70. Over the last 15 minutes or whatever, West Ham had 75% of the ball. But the bottom line was they weren't penetrating us. So the defence stayed solid, the midfield stayed solid, and more importantly, when we got the ball, rather than just belting it out, which you've seen us do in panic, and then the ball comes back and we belt it away, and the ball comes back, and eventually the other team score. And we didn't do that. We played some lovely football, I guess encapsulated by that little dink and drag back by Bentancur to go past two players.
pleasure.
It was just sublime. And, when you see something like that, you got a player, you got a baller. And I thought our game management was really good. And despite the fact that they had quite a lot of possession, one, they never looked like doing any much with it, and secondly, and more importantly, we always look really dangerous on the counter. I get a feeling, I don't know if you agree, Alan, but I get a feeling sometimes when we're attacking, when we're counter attacking like that, we look like we can score every time we go over the halfway line.
I think the annoying thing about Sunday, right, and from what I see in the game, I do not remember West Ham actually winning the ball off of us.
Yeah.
Every time they got the ball, it was us giving a bad pass away. I didn't see them beating us in midfield with a tackle or headers or this or else. Everything seemed to be like a Dyer might pass forward and it went to the wrong person, or Romero. Yeah, they played well. Don't get me wrong, they all played well. But every time West Ham created something of any kind, it was always due to a misplaced pass.
Yeah,
The goal they scored. The goal they scored. It's a corner. It's never a corner, really, because Doherty should be sort of like taking it out and pumping it outfield.
Yeah.
Just missed.
That's true.
Just one of those things. But then, of course, Antonio missed an absolute sitter.
Yeah.
2 times.
And one he put over the bar. That was the one time they did look like scoring, but
And don't forget the one that in the first half that he dragged across the goal.
Yeah.
Right? If that went in, then you know.
Different
But
might
at
have
the end
been
of
a
the day,
foul, Eugene.
yeah. But at the end of the day, we still won. That's the most important thing. Bottom line, we won. We enjoyed it. Right, it was a good game. We played well, relatively, because West Ham didn't play too well. Because I think the 120 minutes did take a lot of the legs out. The 120 minutes did take a lot of the legs out. But before we go on, let's have a big shout out to the guys in the chats, right?
Yeah.
Big up to Mark Swift.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. Shushan, if your mic,
Shushan.
Shushan, is better, right? Hop on. You have the link, right? And now it's an MU fan.
I know.
Yeah. And we've jumped MU at the moment, right? So, I guess. On the watch along show on Sunday. Hold on. Let me bring on a guest, right? Hi, Guguma.
Hi,
Guguma. Hello.
Guguma must be happy. Sonny scored 2 goals. Guguma, right?
Yes.
Should have been a hat-trick. Yeah, should have
It's
been a hat-trick.
wonderful.
Our paths have crossed again for a first time in a long time, Guguma.
Yeah. But guys, hold on. I need to ask Guguma the story.
Okay.
On Sunday during the watch along, you said you were watching the game with some of your friends who were Chelsea fans.
Yes, it's most of my friends are Chelsea fans. No, my friend had a wedding, and so some of my friends have come from the States, and so they were staying at my house, and so we were watching the Chelsea game together. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. Yeah. Oh, so that's why Guguma was busy this past 2-3 days. We haven't seen her around. Everybody was worried. Where's Guguma? But actually, you were okay. Entertaining friends, right? Entertaining friends from overseas and all that. All right. And let me bring on one more guest. Let's see who's that is. Hi, Brian.
Oh. Good morning, people. Good afternoon to everyone. Hey, Guguma, honey. Hey. Hello to Ian and Alan as well as you.
You should be resting, sir.
But that's why my camera's off. I'm laying down in bed. I've got labyrinthitis, so I'm going through extreme dizzy spells. So I need to lay down all the time at the moment. So that's why the camera's off.
That's not good, Brian.
I've got to take my wife. I've got to take my wife to the doctors at 4 because she keeps having dizzy spells, Brian.
Yeah, I've suffered with this for many occasions, and it's awful. Thankfully, it's not as intense as it has been. Sometimes, last time I had this, I stood up and I fell down because I was so dizzy, and it feels like I'm drunk again. So I'm laying down a lot of the time. So apart from that, we're all good. But how is everyone?
Yeah, doing fine.
Yeah,
fine,
not
right?
too bad, mate. Not too bad at all.
Yeah, all good. That I've never had that, but I know people that have, and it sounds rotten, Brian. Absolutely rotten.
What is it called, Brian?
Labyrinthitis. Basically, it's a viral and bacterial infection of the inner ear, which sorts out your balance and everything. So it's kind of like vertigo, but it's more intense.
Yeah.
So right now, what I'm currently going through is, like if you flick a coin on a table and it spins, it does that, and then once it slows down and falls to the ground, it just goes the other way.
Yeah.
And I have spells like that constantly for like an hour at a time. So it's not the greatest, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. But it's been a long time since I've actually been on Persuasion, so I was like, do you know what? I'm coming on.
Good man, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Brian. I used to get that. I think because it's something to do with the inner ear, right? The imbalance. Every time when you sit up, right, and then your head spins like crazy. But I've been recommended a pill called Beta Sac, which helps me control that. So if it comes back,
I'm on motion sickness pills. I've got to take steroids. And also antibiotics. So I started off my morning with taking 12 steroids.
You've only been home 5 minutes. Look, you're called control. You've only been home 5 minutes.
I don't know what's happening there, but it has, and who cares? I've got it. It's not. This is all about Spurs. It's Spurs that do it to me. Spurs. I've got Spursitis.
The dizzy heights of fifth, Brian.
Exactly. There you go, Ian.
Yeah, big shout out to Chris Agamba. Yeah, big up Chris. Right, big up Chris, and of course Kuva.
Big up
Kuva. Yeah, and Mark Swift says hi to you, Brian. Right, get well soon.
Mark.
Yeah. And okay, Brian, you were at Scotland Yard, right, with Bobby Kay, Brian Island.
Yeah.
You guys had a great party.
We had a wicked time. We were making so much noise. I think there was about 60, 70 of us at the Scotland Yard watching it in total. It's just a great day. It's always good when Spurs win, but we're all very loud and very vocal. So I got we were singing the he eats spaghetti, he drinks Moretti, he hates effing Chelsea, and we're singing that on a loop for about 5-10 minutes. So it was just a great day, great day.
And thank you for raising your glass for me, Bri.
That's all right, buddy.
Yeah.
That was great to see that picture. I didn't even click at first, and then Bobby reminded me.
That's all good.
That's all good. That's all good. Right. And of course, now we are in the international break time, right? I think we'll only be playing somewhere in April, end of this month, beginning of the month. So I guess a lot of us Spurs fans are just a bit, anxious, waiting for all the players to come back in one piece, right? And, a lot of international break broke us, right? Let's hope this international break is kind to us and we get our players back and we can move on again, right? And the next game, of course, will be against Newcastle. Maybe we won't talk about that because it's still so far away. We do not know what kind of team will come back to us, right? But I'm sure Guguma celebrated too. So Guguma was having a party at her house during the game, so with a lot of Chelsea fans. Oh, yeah. But we're all happy, right? Winning is, of course, and don't forget, we broke that trend.
Yes,
that's the most important thing. We broke that trend, right? We broke that trend, right? So now, I guess we have to move on and let's see what Conte can do. Do any of you guys know who was left behind? Did Romero go to Argentina?
He's gone on the hope for one game. Apparently, they're trying to get his 2-game suspension down to one, which means he might play one game or he might not play none. So he's gone out there for nothing.
Yeah, why make them fly out when they are suspended like that, right? So sometimes I feel a bit weird, right? Why do the national teams do that? And to tell the truth, Argentina has actually more or less qualified, right, for the World Cup.
They have.
They have, all right. Yeah. So
I think, Eugene, they do it because they can. That's the worst of it, because they can. Because if an international federation says a player's coming, the player has to go.
Yeah, but let's be fair. Let's be fair, though, Ian. Not being funny, there's not one person in this world, if they play football for a club, they wouldn't want to play for their club international as well, whether it even be a friendly. That's
true.
why I'm worried about Saturday, because we're playing Switzerland. Kane is playing, and Switzerland have got Saka, and we all know that he don't know how to tackle, which means could Kane be ruled out because Saka wants to make sure that he ain't fit to face Arsenal.
Well, I guess there's that. But I mean, you're old enough to remember as well, Alan, where when people like Don Revie were managing, where players would be, I think, given a little bit of money on the side to pull out of. And then they introduced that rule. Well, if you don't play for your country on the Wednesday night, you don't play for your club on the Saturday. So it was abused. I mean, in fairness, it was abused. So can I just put, Kuva, obviously, I'm looking at the chat, Eugene. I have no idea that Kuva, I've not seen, in fairness, I've not even seen for anything advertised for Tottenham Tantrum TV. But Kuva, if you're still on, mate, if you've not been well, big up and get better soon.
Yeah. Kuva is just laying low for a while for the time being, right? So that's what a lot of us have been trying to do, try to lay low, right? And of course, what Jason Bell says that some of them go back because to visit their families, right?
Visit family, yeah.
And Guguma, has Sonny traveled to Seoul? Is he playing in any Asian qualifying games?
I think we've already qualified, so I think right now they're trying to get to the top of the pot. So the first game is tonight or Thursday night at 8 p.m.
Yeah. So let's see if they've already qualified, right? There's a weird playoff thing going on. I think if you're 1 and 2, you qualify automatically in Asia. If you're third, you have to do a playoff against each other, and then the loser or the winner has to go back into another playoff against another continent champion or something, or qualifier or something like that, right?
Yeah, but South Korea apparently has already qualified, so they haven't got to go through that process.
Yeah. And Brian, are you supporting Canada this time?
So as long as Canada are playing England, I support Canada.
Yeah, don't forget Canada is also in a very good position to qualify this year, right?
I think they're all but done actually. And yeah, it'll be the first time since the 1982 World Cup that they'll be going. And what it's incredible how it's grabbed this nation going forward. And also, you got to remember they're co-hosting the next one.
Oh,
So
yeah,
to get that'll be 2 back-to-back World Cups. So it's big news for Canada. There's some players now playing in certain leagues that are actually doing very, very well, very, very well.
That's true.
And it's really, really good for the country. It's incredible. I didn't know this country really have come to grips with football. I mean, the women's team always do very, very well. They won the Olympic. I think it was Olympic gold they won this year.
That's true.
So the sport is growing very, very quickly in this country. Obviously, the Premier League, as I know, is huge here. It's huge here. But the actual national game is growing, and they've started a Canadian kind of Premier League, not with Toronto FC in it or anything, but more local teams and everything, which is starting to thrive. So Canadian football, well, I won't say the S word, is getting bigger and bigger and better and better. So it's going to be huge. I think they got Jamaica on Sunday, and I think they're already qualified, but I think this is to rubber stamp it as top or whatever. I'm not too sure, but yeah, on Sunday we'll be watching Canada take on Jamaica.
I passed my message on to the wife, what you gave me at the pub, Brian, about I've got 4 years to save up for Canada.
Yeah,
she told me bluntly, I'm not going.
I want as many people out here for the Canadian World Cup as possible. Everyone gets
4 years. Don't worry, Brian. I think I'll save up enough by then. I'll see you in Canada.
Right. There you go.
I want to go to Canada. I will be there.
I want to go,
right?
But the wife told me I can't.
Yeah, and big up to Eva Man. Eva Man's from Hong Kong. Yeah, good evening.
Hey, Eva.
Big up to Eva. Right, but of course, like what Jason Bell says, Canada almost assured in. They've been impressive. Yeah, that's been impressive. I think Will is doing watch along on Thursday or something because Mexico is playing the USA, if I'm not mistaken. And that's another crucial match, right? Mexico against USA. So let's see how that goes on for Will, right? Yeah. And whenever we do a Mexico versus USA watch along with Will, it's really, really exciting. That'll be early in the morning, right, Guguma? I remember the last one, it was the Gold Cup final. We were shouting like crazy. Yeah, that was so much fun. Yeah. But at least more or less for the World Cup's side, right? Because this, let's say it's considered this year's World Cup, right? We're going to play it somewhere in November, right? Yep. So it's going to be a weird World Cup because it's never been done before, playing it in the winter time because it's in Saudi Arabia. I mean, not Saudi Arabia, it's in Qatar in the Middle East, right? So let's see what happens over there. And I don't think we want to go into the political side of that. So let's keep it more to the Spurs side now. Yeah. But of course, a lot of weird things been happening during the matches. You guys noticed, guys tying themselves onto the goalpost.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. That's what I've been wondering. Is it protest against the oil thing or is it protest against other things?
Against oil prices and all that, I think.
It's the climate control people going on about it. And I have to say, if anyone's seen Alistair Gold's video this week, he talks about this in great, and it's very impressive how the Tottenham stewards dealt with it. Because apparently 5 of them tried to get on. Only 2 were able to make it to the goal, but obviously they didn't even get a chance to tie themselves up. But what Alistair Gold did and brought up, which is never thought of, and it's so true, is he highlighted it's not even about what they're protesting. It's alarming that people are able to get onto that pitch and do these kind of things. Now, we all saw what happened with Jack Grealish with a fan, and we saw it at Leicester versus Forest, but also he remembered when it happened with Monica Seles at tennis, where she got stabbed in the back.
Of course.
They have the cable ties. That could easily be it could easily be someone with a knife or blade, or worse, or knuckle or something with pure malice. And the stewards did an incredible job at Tottenham, an incredible job at doing that, and fair play to them because they don't know what's going on. They've got to react quick, and they did their job very, very well. They did their job extremely well.
That's true. That's true. And of course, Eva Man says that I would love to go to Korea in July to see Tottenham Hotspur play if I could. Oh, so would I even, tell the truth. Yeah. Just hold on. I'm telling Guma, just hold on. I've got until July, right? If something good happens, you'll see me there. Then we'll meet up with Guma.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's see how that pans out. But
how would you recognize her? We've never seen her face.
Oh, don't worry. I'll carry a sign. Guguma, look for me when I land.
How long is the flight, Eugene, from Malaysia to South Korea?
2 over hours, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it's not much.
Yeah, it's not too far away. 2 hours, maximum 3, I think.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's not that bad at all. Yeah, for us to go to South Korea, it's not bad. I think maximum 4, but I don't think it's that far away. If I'm not mistaken, it's 2.5. Yeah, I'm going to check it out. Yeah, go Google it. How far from Malaysia by flight? Yeah,
there you go.
But not now. Yeah, it's not that far away, right? It's about north, but north of us, northwest of us, something like that. Slightly northwest. Yeah, but let's hope. Right, let's see if something nice happens. Right, let's see. But of course, that will be going there to watch them play the friendly, and then of course we'll be going there to see Son. Right, and of course Son scoring 2 goals. Right. It kills all the doubters of him having bad form and the blah 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 going on. Let's say, come on, he scored 2 goals, and of course the third one when it was what called through the legs off and hit the heel of the defender. Zuma. Yeah. So the cat kicker deserved it.
Yes, I started singing in the pub. Who let the cats out?
Meow, 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 meow.
Yeah, exactly.
Meow. All right.
That was absolutely lovely. That was it. Could have.
Okay. Ian says that it's 6 hours and 40 minutes from Malaysia. All right. Okay. I didn't know it's that far away. Oh dear. Yeah. 6 hours from Malaysia to South Korea. 7 hours flight. All right. Okay. That means we made it half the way to London.
Mate, that is me flying from Toronto to London.
Oh yeah. That's true. That's all right. Yeah.
My brother.
Do I get my own song? I ask.
He didn't say hello to us.
Now you said it, I'll have to think of it. But that, with Danny, that's gone on now for about almost a year.
Yeah, Danny's song has been. Yeah, it started a year ago. You're not mistaken, right? Way back then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah. Also, I let people on the Irish Hotspur know. I'll let everyone in the watching this now know. As of tomorrow, Ben in Simeon are going away on Ben's stag do. So Ben is having his stag weekend. So We Are Tottenham TV is being taken over by Tottenham on Tour.
Okay.
For the next few days, and it will be more evening time shows. There you go, brother. I'll see you shortly. I'm AKA Superman. Thank you very much, sir, brother. It's not as needed as I was needed for you, brother. Save it up and come in the summer when it's nice and hot, brother. Come over in the summer. And I cannot wait to be on Superman's show on Saturday, the hottest ticket in town, and I will be there. While nothing would stop me from being on that show, but yeah, Tottenham on Tour will be taking over We Are Tottenham TV from tomorrow, but like I said, it will be like late afternoon, evening shows your time every single day, or UK time, shall I say? But we're looking forward to that, and obviously we'll try and get Bob Spur on as many times as he wants. But Saturday, it's all about Bob Spur. It's all about Bob Spur.
All up. Bobby. Big up to Bobby.
You put some of your funny times because it said 10:30 Eastern, and I think it was meant to be 10:30 p.m. GMT. Is that right, Bob? Is that right?
It is 10:30 GMT.
Yeah.
10:30 GMT.
I will definitely watch.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll if I can wake up, I'll watch Bobby. All right. If I can wake up, I'll gate crash the party too. Yeah, Bobby. Big up to Bobby, and it's so great to have him back. Right. That's the most positive and happiest news that
Absolutely.
our Spurs family has, right? It doesn't even matter what Spurs does, right? Big up to Bobby, big up, right? And he's
So I have to say, he sent me a picture as soon as he got home with him and Kim, and I have to say it is the greatest photo I've ever received in my entire life. And I've received pictures of my newborn nephews, my niece. Seeing him at home is without doubt the greatest picture I've ever received in my entire life, and it's just incredible to have him home.
Yes.
Okay,
so
guys,
incredible.
I've got to go and do my duties to take me wife to
Yep. Ian, are you doing any shows?
We've got something going on tomorrow night, I believe. We're hoping to do a show because we didn't do anything last week. I believe we're doing the show tomorrow night.
All right.
No special guest.
Like Spurs, though, guys. Don't forget. Usually it's about 7:30 p.m. GMT.
Yeah, 7:30 tomorrow. As far as I know, I don't know. Yeah, don't know for certain, but anyway,
I'm not sure whether Johnny's said. All right, take care. All right.
Love you all, and I'll
See you
catch
later,
you.
Alan.
Okay. Bye bye.
See you later, buddy.
Bye bye. Okay. So, since we're back to four of us now, what should we talk about? Are we going to be deluded? Right, we're going to get top four. Yay! Or are we going to go some other direction? Hold on, I've got another friend coming on, another family member coming on. Hi, Brad.
Hi, Brad.
How you doing? All right?
Mr. Matthews.
Yeah.
How you
Mr.
doing?
Matthews,
Bit late today. Hello, good. Hi, Brian. Hi, Ian.
Hi. Eugene, if you're looking for what a subject I think is really interesting is Brian, I don't know if you've got any input on this just because you're in North America, is some of these franchises and others that are bidding on Chelsea at the moment, because I'm sure for people like you that want alternative ownership, I would have thought some of you would be looking really closely at some of these consortia that are looking at Chelsea and thinking, well, if they don't get Chelsea, would they be interested in investing in Tottenham? Which begs the question that I will keep asking is, are they fit and proper? Are they suitable? I mean, I gather this consortium from Chicago, and I don't know much about them. They have I'll just read from the coffee company. Yeah, very
all right.
good.
Hold on, Ian. Hold on, Ian. Hold on.
Yeah.
I need to do this. Hi, Bobby.
Afternoon.
Superman.
Hi, Bobby.
How are you guys?
How you been doing,
Hi,
Bobby?
Bob.
Recovering, mate. Yeah, getting back to a bit of normality. So, but
You sound normal, Bob.
I know, mate. Which has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
I think last time I spoke, I was constantly out of breath. I'm out of breath when I stand up and try and walk, but I think it's the whole environment as well, being back home. But I worked out I'd spent longer at hospital than I actually had done at my new flat. So it's a case of getting used to the flat as well. But no, it's just great to smell air and pollution and Kim's burnt food. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and of course, a big raid from a coffee company, right? Anthony Gray, coffee company.
Big up.
Yeah, big up to them, right? And of course, from Ben, big up to Ben.
Yeah, Ben. Hi, Ben.
When you're feeling better, Bobby, I'll have to come up and see you because I used to live in Hoddesdon, and every now and again, every now and again I go there just to have a look around the old place. So
make sure you do, mate. It's
I'll come and say hello, and when
absolutely
up and running. Well, not
running,
but
And of course, Wayne Bonner, big up Wayne.
Oh, big up Wayne.
Yeah, big up Wayne. Bob Spurs back streaming on Saturday. Oh yeah, I'll be watching. Yeah. Right. And Bobby, any physiotherapy started yet?
Yeah. I've had a call from the rehab centre today. We've got the physio coming round Monday. I did fork out for a masseuse to come round and give me a full body massage. Yeah. that was good. And no, it is because obviously muscles that haven't been put into use or into play for 4 months are either gone or asleep, and they just need working up. My legs, my calves are like like empty water bottles and jello, and it's just getting back to a bit of normality. But trust me, I'd rather be at home in a little bit of pain than be at hospital eating. Yeah. Oh no, I can't. You know what? That's so unfair. The NHS, what they do, and how they've literally saved my life. So me dissing anything, be it food, be it the uncomfortable mattress, it'd just be so wrong of me. They were absolutely brilliant. I can't speak highly enough of. I mean, Brian, when he came to visit, he managed to meet a couple of nurses, and you saw what they were like, Brian, didn't you, mate? Yeah, absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And for what they earn and what they've been through with COVID and the pressure that they've had on them, honestly, can't fault them. And yeah, I mean, I'd speak tongue in cheek, but they were brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant.
I wonder what that treatment would have cost. Sorry, Eugene, just a quick point. What that treatment would have cost if you'd have been in North America?
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
well, do you know what? Just on that, in Canada, we have a national health system like we do back home. America, completely different. Here we have something called. It's all done by provinces, but here in Toronto, it's called OHIP.
Well, that saved my life twice, and I don't know how much you can. How you can put a cost to that, but there is a cost to that in America, and you know, when you spend a third of the year amongst the same nurses, you do get to know them, and so you know, I was talking about what they earn and everything, and it's so surprising. They're so undervalued, they're so taken advantage of as well, and we take it for granted. We'll take it for granted, and rest assured, once I'm up and running, if there's anything I can do towards to help the NHS, and it's not just myself. They looked after Dad when he was ill. They looked after Mum when she was ill. My brother when he was ill. They're integrated into the final parts of many of my family members and what could have been mine as well. So no, I can't speak highly enough of them. And if there's anything I can do, once I'm able, I will certainly be doing it. Be it charity runs, walks, swims, whatever. I will be doing whatever I can.
Yeah, maybe you could do a appreciation show for them, right? And don't forget, they had a YouTube star with them, right? Don't forget, you were streaming from the hospital.
yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Actually, I might see if I can get Tina on. Tina was one of the every day. She the strongest Jamaican accent. She'd come up to me and she'd say, "I don't want you here anymore. I want you to fuck off home." And that was her motivation. Honestly, she was absolutely brilliant. And but no, it's your show, mate. And I had to come on when Ian brought up the
Chelsea
takeover thing. Yeah, I mean, where do you guys stand, and you in particular, Ian, because I know you. It's the morality. You know, I did a show on morality, remember, and you were on. Yeah. Where do we stand with regards to morality? Because suddenly the Ricketts deal that people are saying that he made a comment in 2019 about racism and all this. I mean, are Chelsea being hypocrites by saying no? We don't want someone who an 80-year-old who made a comment 3 years ago about all Muslims being our enemy, but quite happy to take in. Chinese money, or quite happy with Russian money, or the morality side is going to be difficult.
And what I think, Bob, that has happened is I think that the Newcastle deal has woken everybody up.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
You know, Manchester City pretty well went through on the nod. Chelsea, no one really knew much about Abramovich, although there was enough anecdotal evidence to suggest his money wasn't exactly kosher. Paris Saint-Germain doesn't really affect us. So, yeah. But I think that the Chelsea thing now, after the Newcastle thing has got everybody's mind focused on who are fit and proper people to run and own football clubs, and particularly where they're not British, because there doesn't appear to be anyone from the United Kingdom that is remotely interested in these clubs. And there was a Saudi consortium I heard that were interested. They seem to have gone on the back burner.
Saudi media.
But yeah, you know who that is, yeah.
Saudi media, yeah. But to tell the truth, you know what I'm pissed off of? You know, the price is £3 billion, right? And all of a sudden, right, there are like 20 bidders going for it. What the F? You get what I'm saying? When Levy want to sell for £3 billion, right? Like nobody said anything. What?
There's also a bid by, I believe his name is Mr. Nicholas Candy. He's being backed by Korean.
South Koreans,
Yes.
It's one of those, isn't it? Though as well, it's economically for the UK. For all, I mean, the reason the Russians were allowed in was because it was going to help the country out economically and all that. You know, there's no way the government are going to turn around and say no, we won't let these multi-billionaires come into our country and bring all this money in. And that's another reason, like Ian says, the Saudis were able to take over Newcastle. Now it's a case of where do the government, the FA, the Premier League draw the line? Is it a case of cutting off the nose, spite their face, or do they put morality ahead of you know?
I don't know if anyone else wants to come in. But I think public opinion will play a big part in this, which with, you know, and I can understand Newcastle supporters. You know, I heard Greg Dyke did when this story started was just on the news and saying that fans really don't care. If it's your club, you don't care about the morality. Newcastle supporters, the rest of the football world, deplores the fact that these people have been allowed to own Newcastle. Newcastle supporters, and in fairness, they are a big club in so many ways, have been deprived of anything that might, you know, look remotely like success for a generation, are desperate to have somebody like that throwing money at the team. And, you know, they'll buy more and more good players, and they will rise up. The Chelsea, by the same token, have had all this money. Financial fair play don't make me laugh. You know, Russian money that's probably a lot of it suggested that I'm seeing that Abramovich is Putin's banker. So it's genuinely effectively the Russian government that's been propping Chelsea up. And Chelsea supporters have got used to it. You know, I always thought when I was growing up, Chelsea were a much smaller club than Tottenham. Certainly had nothing like the fan base or the trophy levels that we had won until Abramovich came, and suddenly they've won the Champions League twice, the Premier League however many times, FA Cup however many times. And I think Chelsea supporters will want that again. And I don't think they'll care too much. I've seen some things about this because, of course, their ground is probably the most valuable real estate of any football club in Britain, and by a distance, you know, from where it's located. So there is that pitch. I can't remember what it's called, and they're looking for fan representation, etc., etc. I think this story is going to run. I don't have an opinion on it. I'm probably more interested in your opinion, Bob, and yours, Brian, because I know you're a sort of and Eugene. You know, those of you that are anybody but Levy, this is a time now to think. Right. Well, is it anybody but Levy, or is there any sort of moral position to, you know, what and who we think are a right and proper people to own Tottenham, if there is going to be alternative ownership?
For me, it's what I see is like this now, right? If the deal is done and if it's sold, right? The problem now is that what the British government is saying is that what is the money going to be used for? Who does the money goes to, right? If I was Abramovich, right, and if I wanted to piss everybody off, all I would have said, right, I'll give it back to the fans for free. If I'm going to write off 1.5 billion pounds, why not I just write off the whole 3 billion pounds and give it back to the fans, right? And then the fans will have the say. The fans will have back the control of the club, and that may be the first step. Hi Nick, hi Barry, hi
Ranjit.
Right.
Whatever your name is.
Right.
Ranjit.
Yeah.
Hi, Nick.
Ranjit.
Oh, you got a new name called Ranjit too. Yeah, I forgot about that. Right.
Sorry, let me change it.
feel-
I apologize. I put the wrong name.
But what I feel is that if Roman really wanted to do something for the club and for the fans, right, he should just give it back to the fans. Set up a trust or something, right? Get the fans in, right, and maybe make each of their fans pay a 100 quid as a token kind of a investment kind of thing to put it back into the club or whatever, right? Instead of trying to take out the 3 billion and put it to where he wants to put it, which in the end of the day, I'm very sure the British government won't give it to him, right? You can sell the club for any more money you want, but he won't get a single cent. If he won't get that single cent, well, just give it back to the fans. That's how I feel, right?
I think Abramovich has got other things to worry about at the moment, because at the moment Putin is becoming more and more isolated with what's going on. The world is getting more and more disgusted. And I think the oligarchs that have supported him are going to think, hang on a minute, if Putin falls for whatever reason, then we're going to lose out. So I think they will start to be thinking about themselves rather than Putin. And I think Abramovich will be exactly the same.
Did you see they're also thinking of trying to go in for Euro 2028, which us and Ireland
Ireland and us are going in.
None of us deserve, after Euro 2021, what happened at the final? We don't deserve it, I tell you what.
No, true.
Yeah, I think, it's a weird one. When obviously the Newcastle takeover happened, I did a show, and I know Brian was on. I think Ian was on. It was all about the morality of it and all this. I'm not going to lie, I was fucking jealous. There is a part of jealousy about it. How dare Newcastle become richer than us? How dare they become the richest club in the Premier League? And Ian's right to an extent. Deep down, if we put a hand on our heart, I mean, there are going to be people. I know Ian's one of those that you are bothered about where the money comes from. But hand on heart, I mean, I don't know what you think, Ranjit. If we suddenly became the richest club in the Premier League and the money was coming in from Saudi Arabia, would you honestly be bothered? Hand on heart.
Probably not, and I don't think anyone else. I genuinely don't think anyone else is, because realistically, the only place where the money's coming from is coming from there, right? It's not going to come from. I mean, it might come from America if you look at like an NFL team potentially. That's or an Amazon or look. But all these people, regardless of who they are, I guess it's how bad their human rights records are, because they're all bad. They've all made money from doing bad things, right? So there's no way that they've made hundreds of thousands of millions of pounds of just from being nice and going, oh, thanks, I've suddenly dropped, I'm a millionaire or billionaire or what have you. So I guess it's how bad. I guess Brian obviously will say, how bad do you want Levy out? And we all want Levy out. But to what extent do we turn a blind eye, if that makes sense? Is it as bad? But then, it's bad in any instance, but is it as bad as, what's going on with Qatar? Is it as bad as, I mean, look, it is, even Elon Musk has got dodgy stuff and do you know what I mean?
He'd move the ground to Mars. We'd be playing on Mars.
I don't know. Look, would I feel bad if someone came in and then suddenly we had £1 billion to spend on players? No. Because but from a morality point of view, I guess it's how far on the scale of how bad the things that they've done. I guess.
How do you measure it? How do you measure it?
Yeah, but guys, you're just saying that you're just like making a deal with the devil. That's all. Are you willing to sell?
Fans won't care, Eugene. You know,
they don't. They will never care.
someone comes in and gives you a Dybala, Skriniar, you know, Vlahovic.
No, Bobby. Someone comes in and gives you the Premier League, right?
Yeah,
gives you a Champions
yeah.
League. Yeah, who's going to care? Nobody cares in the end of the day. Just as long as the trophy's there, everybody will celebrate it.
It's difficult. I mean, I'll be uneasy if we got taken over by, say, an Arab consortium that are bombing the crap in Yemen or Russians that are bombing the crap in Ukraine. I'd be uneasy. But if we won the league, I'll be up and down, jumping up and down in the street, celebrating. It's just one of those human things, isn't it? But I think the landscape is that what's been going on now, and it's taken a war that's closer to home. Let's face it. Probably none of us here will actually know where Yemen is, but we all know where the Ukraine is. And I think it's taken that, and it's bad in both places, but it's taken that to suddenly bring it home what's going on. And I think now people are going to be very, very wary, especially people who are selling. I can't imagine Daniel Levy selling to some Arab guy who's got human rights issues. So I think that's what's going to go on in the future, I think.
How do you think they're going to weigh it up, though, Brad? You know, because obviously the government have. It seems like the government now have a duty to make sure that any money that comes into Premier League now is proper, fit, or investigated properly, etc. But then obviously you've got the fan community who are going to want this money to come in. And Premier League, let's be honest, is probably one of the biggest financial institutes in the UK. How are they going to weigh that up by doing the fit proper thing, but also make sure that not too much dodgy money's coming in?
Well, I guess I don't know whether the fit and proper thing was in when Abramovich took over, but if I couldn't say that Abramovich would be fit and proper. I wouldn't say that the Arabs that have taken over Newcastle fit and proper, but they just seem to turn a blind eye to it. I think, and it depends on how they. It's all
subjective, right? It's all subjective.
Creating war in a country, or paying your employees, not paying them minimum wage. I mean, there's different sort of morals there, isn't there?
Yeah.
And where they draw the line.
Can I pick up on Ben's point? Because give me Big Daddy Bezos or Elon Evil Genius Musk. Yeah, I mean, I suspect they're not in to buy a football club, but I absolutely agree with his comments there, and particularly some Middle Eastern owners that they will remove the Jewish connection. But I think the other side to that coin, Ben, if you're still here, is that of course with Tottenham's Jewish connection, companies, countries, whatever, individuals with a strong Middle Eastern and Arab connection would be unlikely to invest in a club that is seen as synonymous with British Jewry or English Jewry. Which is, I suppose it's odd when you think that Manchester United are owned by Jews. Abramovich, of course, is Jewish. The owner of Arsenal is Jewish. Of course, the principal owners of West Ham are Jewish. So it's not just Tottenham. But this is the dilemma. I was on Tottenham Tantrum TV, I think just at New Year, talking about the ownership, and Coover said Amazon is and I think everybody would welcome that. I mean, in terms of Tottenham being a worldwide brand with the NFL, with the boxing, and obviously the English our football. There's a great opportunity there for an American company, I think. And I would have much more, I'd be much happier if it was someone like Amazon came in, even if they came in as with a large minority stake. And of course, Enoch were prepared to sell some of the shares and to dilute as well, to create more money for the transfers that we all yearn for this summer. That would work, and I think fans would. Kroenke isn't Jewish, by the way. Okay, I'll take that if you Ben. I'll bow to your superior knowledge on that. I'm sorry, because I picked up Ben's point. I've lost my change. If there was money available, proper money available, and we started to spend the kind of money properly, because this is the point. You look at what Romero and Benty and Decky are costing, and they're absolute, in my view, absolute giveaways. You know, any idiot can spend 60, 70 million on the wrong just wicked it on the wrong kind of players. But if we were to get money for the kind of the Skriniars and, you know, the Dybalas, and I know he's on a free, but if proper money was available, I think people might sit back and at least get off leave case for a bit. Apart from Brian, of course. Brian won't get off
obviously, Tottenham have got, or ENIC have got a lot of real estate that they've invested in. So Amazon could come in, and then you've got Amazon Homes or Amazon Hotels. You know, they sell everything else.
Prime Homes.
Exactly. And then the stadium would be called the Amazon Stadium, and we'd be nicknamed the Piranhas. So, you know.
But it's a massive moral dilemma for everybody, and I think those of you that say, you know, would I want it? No. If we won a league or a major cup, would I be dancing in the street? Too bloody right. Of course. You know, we've all been starved of trophies for far too long.
The thing you've got to look at as well, which people aren't talking about as well, is Chelsea are apparently going for 3 billion. That's the number. So forget who's coming in, whatever. I don't see how we are valued at 3.2 billion, and how he can think. Oh wait, I know. Obviously, there's the stadium and the infrastructure and everything.
Isn't it the asset though, Brian?
It's the assets. But when you look at it as well, it's the assets, and I don't believe when we sell the club, we sell all the property that's all around it. I think when you buy Tottenham, you are buying Tottenham Hotspurs in the football ground, the training ground. They're not going to let you have a thing to do with the property. So how? But the other thing that you got to remember as well is when you talk about assets, the main assets on a football team are the players on the pitch, and their assets on that pitch are worth more than ours. Their trophies and the history, their continuous winning is more than ours. So the bit that's getting me with all this, we're all talking about. Everyone knows my stance on this, and I still stand by anyone but Levy. But these guys at the Chicago Cubs haven't got the best reputation with their own fans. With their own fans, which is a problem for me. That's the biggest problem for me. Not who they are. If a club that's being bought by, let's say Chelsea, are getting bought by the Chicago Cubs, and the Chicago Cubs fans themselves can't stand that owner, that doesn't bode well with me. Forget the moral dilemma part. That's what bodes well with me, because if their team that they've been owners of for, I don't know the exact, Will would be the best one to know about the American side. I can't say that I've ever delved into the world of baseball because I can't stand the fucking sport. But when their own fans can't stand their owners, then that's an issue for me, because that doesn't bode well with getting out. That if someone told me the Chicago Cubs, they're wicked, they love them, then I wouldn't give a flying monkeys. But that's what worries me, when their own fans don't like them. That's a problem for me.
There you go, Chelsea.
Who's the owner of
But a comment from Ben, right? Personally, I think all world football needs is to adopt the German 50+1 model, right? It will affect money. It will affect the money into football in the short term, but in 20 years from football will be a better place. It's very true. But the problem with the German model is that their model is that it has to be 50+1 and it has to be German owned. So it doesn't matter whether the fans own it, just as long as it's a German company that owns it, right? That's why you got like Bayer owning Bayer Leverkusen and all that. The German companies own it, right? But the thing is that, like what we've seen in the Premier League, I think 80% of the Premier League is owned by foreigners now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but what you got to remember as well with the German model, it will never happen because the English, it just cannot happen. It would take too much. Yeah. But what the German do, German football, the way it's done is absolutely brilliant. Not only their season tickets, over 50% cheaper, but also what they've agreed with the German transport, like the London Underground and everything like that. If you show a match day ticket, that's free travel for you on the London Underground or the German, whatever it is. So you show your ticket and you get to travel or on the transportation for free because they know you're going to that game. London transport will never ever say. It is just what Germany have done is the benchmark that everyone should be looking to do. But they started this at a time when they could and have grown it, and it's become a wonderful thing and a great way to run a football club.
Brian, they've got one club that actually is successful in European football now. One club.
Yeah, fine.
So, I mean, I understand why people saying it's a model to aspire to, etc. But if that means Champions League, getting knocked out in the group stages, or the same with would you be happy with that? Because I wouldn't. I'd rather have English football attracting the very best players, and the massive amount of TV money, because the product in the EPL is absolutely phenomenal. Particularly, I say, those of us old enough to remember Bloom Ball in the 1970s, where you just had one set of defenders hacking it up to another set, to a set of forwards, and the ball coming back again. And I don't know how our pitch ever got so worn out, because the bloody ball was never on it, And we were
Ian, Saturday afternoons on teletext was bad enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
CFAX.
Yeah.
CFAX. And guys, and for us in Asia, right, we get our matches 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Used like that in Australia.
Those were the days. Those were the
Can
days.
you put bets on them usually?
No, not then, right? I don't think the betting was that wide at that time.
Ian raises a great point. Everyone loves the model in Germany and thinks, that's what it should happen. But he's right when it comes to success in the major European finals and everything. Yes, it's brilliant for the economy and for fans that don't earn all the money in the world. It's very viable for them to go to games. So we're looking at it from a fan perspective, and how much better it's run as a 50% and 51 or whatever it is in fans. But when you look at it the way Ian said it, Ian is right. As much as I'd love English football to be like that, and the fans can travel, like if you go to Newcastle and you show your match day ticket, you get free. That would be a wonderful thing to do, and great for the supporter. But for the club itself and the sustainability and being able to pay these players wages, I can't see it working in England based on the premise that Ian just brought up.
Yeah, but Brian, if it's every country has to do that, then everybody's on a level playing ground. You get what I'm saying? But the problem that will never happen, because money is already seeped into football too deep, right? Football has become more of a commodity than a sport at the moment, right? That's why the owners, to tell the truth, for me, I wouldn't be surprised, right? The Chelsea owner that comes in, at the moment, they will have all their plans of redevelopment and all the blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, will they actually spend on the team? No one has actually said, okay, I'm going to spend this amount on team, where I'm allowed to spend this amount of team. Apart from the Saudis, right? They're already in, right? And they're already showing what they've been trying to do. There have been rumors, right? They've been trying to sign some players during the January transfer window for £100 million, but the players didn't want to go, right? So that's the thing. When money seeps in, everything goes out the door, right? And especially when foreign money comes into the country at that kind of amount, right, in billions, right, the governments will close one eye. You're getting 3 billion investment for a football club. Imagine you have 20 football clubs in the Premier League. The amount of funds are being generated, the amount of development being done, right? And all this money is coming from overseas. It's not pumped in internally money. The money is not coming from the government to generate the kind of development. It's coming from overseas to generate that kind of development. So the government doesn't spend the money, right? And don't forget, on top of that, they take taxes.
I need to just pop off a minute.
All right.
Oh, good song. Good song.
Yeah. He's got a phone call. Yeah. But in the end of the day, all this in the end ends up because of the money, right? Football has lost its morality ever since money has become big in it, right? When the players' wages all of a sudden are like £500,000 a week, you imagine, like what Bobby was saying. Bobby, how much per week does a nurse earn?
Oh, I don't know about per week, mate, but I was talking to nurses who, like I say, you get to know them. Some were in tears. That they're coming in doing 12-hour shifts, 8 in the morning till 8 at night. Two shifts on, then there's 2 shifts off, then 2 shifts. It's like the old continental ones where you have to do 4 on 4 off, and they'd come in, there'd be an award, then halfway through they'd told to go to another ward. No thank yous, no nothing. There was one nurse who actually stayed there overnight because she didn't have enough to get home. It's not enough. And then when you compare it, I know it's the easiest comparison to make. Oh, look at footballers and all this, etc. You know, we've got to look how much of a financial input footballers have economically as well. But yeah, I mean, you know, you're talking basic wage of 15, 16k a year.
Crazy.
And that's London. That's London. That's Harlow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I was an accounts payable supervisor, and I was getting a lot more than nurses were getting. So so you don't even have to have the footballers comparison. Just have a simple accounts clerk.
Yeah.
I get more selling cars, Brad.
Yeah.
I get more selling cars.
Yeah. But that's the problem with the disparity of the income. You see, right? The value of one person's work, right, against the value of another person's work. That's the disparity problem. But the world is becoming to that kind of stage. So we don't want to go there, right? Then when you talk about the morality of the money coming into football, that's another thing. Like what you've been saying earlier. How do you think the billionaires became billionaires, right? By being generous and kind to other people? I don't think so, right? So, of course, there's always morality there. Yeah, that's why, you see, right? And of course, the richer you get, right, the more, you know, you become, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so that's the part of
it. I wouldn't know, Eugene. You might do, but I certainly don't know. The poorer I become, the nicer I become, though.
The poorer you become, the more humble you become. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. But just going back to Ben's point about football fans being fickle, right? Yesterday, all of the Newcastle games sold out, and the ticket exchange was open, and the guest sale was open for Leicester, Brighton, and Burnley, right? 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks before it was open. 3 or 4 weeks ago, ticket exchange didn't even open for some of the fixtures. Yeah. So that just goes to show how fickle we are as own fans, because we've seen it. Oh, we've put a run together. Oh, we need to get there to see what's going to happen towards the end of the season. Whereas the start of the season, the middle of the season, I mean, we just might sell out the ground for one of the games before the end of the season. But that just goes to show how fickle even our own fans are. And I couldn't believe it, seeing ticket exchange was open, guest sale for the games in 3 or 4 weeks, and that's not been the case for most of the season.
I mean, the thing I would say on that is I don't know how people really say we've put a run together. It's 2 wins.
It's five wins in 7, Brian. 5 wins in 7 in the Premier League.
Two wins in a row does not count as a run.
4 out of 5, Brian. 4 out of 5, mate. If we want to go in the last 5 games,
but that's still, mate. 4 out of 5 still isn't a run, is it?
Yes, it is.
No, when you say a run together is successive victories to me. That's a run. That's a run. We've had 2 of them. The first time we've had it in 2022. So maybe you want to call it a run because it's the first time in 2022.
Correct. It's a run.
It's the most ill-timed international friendly break ever to come. It kills our momentum. We're going to pick it. We just don't want any injuries.
Well, it happened at the start of the season as well, didn't it?
It did, yeah. I mean, but I don't understand why. I honestly don't. I mean, let the playoffs happen, but I don't understand why. I mean, of course we know why. It's all about money. We've got the biggest, biggest show on earth, i.e. the World Cup, shrouded in corrupt money. Having a couple of international fixtures at home, I suppose, isn't a big deal. But purely on a football fan point of view, it's so ill-timed, man. It's just the worst.
You know what, Bob? I actually don't think it is. And the reason I say that is we're now going to have 2 extra weeks for Ollie Skip to get fit, which is vital to have him out and about for the mix. Also, you look at it, like you said, we've put 2 wins together, and but
it's
everyone else haven't been like, you know what I mean? Arsenal have been doing well as well. It actually stops Arsenal as well. Arsenal could come back in. The only time this will be ill time is if we pick up a few injuries because we don't have the strength in depth to do it. The one I am concerned about is Romero because every time he's gone away on Argentinian duty, he's come back with an injury. Every time he's been with us, and the last one ruled him out for 3 months. And that's the one. Like obviously, everyone could pick up an injury. Someone was saying just before about Xhaka going in on, I think it was Adam going on Harry Kane, which could be a distinct possibility. But Xhaka's just such an idiot; he'll probably mistime the tackle and foul someone else. But the main concern is Romero. But for me, given Ollie skipped 2 weeks to actually get back to fitness, is a bigger blessing. It might benefit us more in the long run than having. I know where you're coming from, Bobby. I hate these international friendlies as well. But we've got on a 2-game win. I was about to say the word run there, but it's not a run. We've had 2 games back to back that we've won. Yeah. They go away happy. Hopefully they come back recharged, knowing right, we're in a good place. Let's go. Plus, Ollie Skip is back to add to that midfield, and I think we've all seen until Bentancur came just how big he is missed when he's out. You realise just how vital it is to have him back and to drop Winks back a place. For me, is huge, and having Skip back for the run-in and having these 2 weeks could actually be more beneficial than of not having a international break.
It's an ongoing run, Brian.
This word run. It's a hop. It's a hop. It's not a triple jump. It's a hop, skip, and a jump. We've had the hop. We've had the skip. If we win the next game, we've had the skip. See what I did there? We hop, skip, and then we have to jump.
But guys, sorry, go on, Eugene.
But guys, right? For this season, every international break that came around, right, it broke us. You know.
Yeah.
That's the sad part, right? So let's hope this international break be kind to us.
Well, you know what? I guess it'd be just me and Ian that remember this, but when we used to play World Cup qualifiers, it used to be just in the middle of the week. There was never any international break.
No, that's right.
You had the league, and then you play an international during the week. You know, the famous England-Poland game. That was just during the week.
There's a lot more games now.
There's
a lot more international countries. So the game, you could always fit your 6 qualifiers. There was a group of 4 or a group of 8. You'd play your qualifiers over for a World Cup or a European championships over 18 months or so. So, and you only had to fit in 6 midweeks or something, which was relatively straightforward now. But I agree. But then I was thinking, what's a bigger disaster for us? Harry Kane coming back with an injury, or Harry Maguire going back to United without an injury?
But guys, I would just like to ask Guguma a question. Guguma, you know, in nearly every home game that's been played now, I see a lot of South Korean fans in the stadium, right? And they always get all these right at the pitch side seats, right? Where you can see them and all that. How much does it cost to be there? Do you know? Have you actually checked out the price just to buy the? Is there a tour that does it for them that you have to be linked to the Spurs club or something?
I don't know the exact amount it is, how much it costs, but I remember looking at this travel company site, and they have like tours, and they show how much it is to get a ticket to sit at Tottenham games. So I think it's run by like tours.
So will it be very expensive for you guys to go there?
I don't know. If the ticket costs around $2,000 to go to England, and then on top of that, there's the ticket cost for the game.
Does the $2,000 include your hotel and your the accommodations?
No, that's just for the airplane ticket.
Just the flight. Okay.
Right.
So that means one package maybe for a 3-day or 4-day weekend just to go there to see Son play might come up to about $3,000 then.
I'd say more, mate.
Probably more. Probably 4,000.
4,000?
4, at least.
Okay. So that's why I know you guys, right? That's so good. So the next time when I come over for a game, right, most probably I'll get a free ticket, free accommodation.
You don't have to worry about accommodation. You don't have to worry about accommodation. Brian's had Walnut Crescent's close as finest a few nights.
It's not. Yeah,
and get free tickets to
the
free
only thing that
accommodations.
anyone would need to worry about. The only thing that anyone would need to be worried about would be just to get the flight over. They wouldn't need to worry about ticket. They wouldn't need to worry about accommodation. That's there's enough of us that will be willing to help. Do you know what I mean? But just going on your point, Eugene, I actually, to say that, I still haven't noticed, even though all the restrictions are lifted and everything else, I've still not noticed as many South Korean fans as there has been in the past. Do you know what I mean? Like it was.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
It was nominally like visible. You could tell when you're walking down the high road with the South Korean fans and everything else, and you could tell when you're in the ground that in the corners or at the front or everything else. And hopefully, I mean, obviously, it's a hell of a lot of money, and for people like Brian coming over, Will Stewart, Colin, all the guys, Eugene, for all of you to come over, even people coming over from Ireland or coming for Ian for coming down from Scotland. It's not cheap to come. Do you know what I mean? To travel.
Yeah. Plane tickets are not as cheap as last time. Yeah.
I think it's also because the COVID's very, very bad right now here, and it's just been like climaxing for a while. And also, people don't want to deal with the hassle of when you come back to Korea after traveling, you have to
quarantine.
Right, quarantine and stuff like that. So
I know. Yeah. But like for the Malaysian government, from April 1st, we're going to be announced we are going to the endemic stage. So a lot of things are opening back up again, the borders and all that. So let's see. Hopefully, maybe by middle of the year, things will turn out for the better. Right, by the end of the year, I think a lot of things have to actually change by end of the year because the World Cup is coming, right? When the World Cup comes along, I guess, a lot of people should be allowed to travel. If not, then what's the World Cup for then, right? If people can't go there to watch
the World Cup will come along when we're top of the league. You watch.
Yeah. Do you guys? Do you guys think if the Spurs Arsenal game is the second from last game, do you think it's going to matter? Are we still going to be in a position where it's going to matter?
I heard rumours that it's going to be sandwiched in between the Liverpool and Burnley game, which means that it's going to still matter then. I don't think the last week it will matter because I think it will be one way or another, depending on what's happened in the games previously for whoever. And like I've been saying, of us taking it one game at a time. It won't. I don't think it'll. If it comes to the game before the last game of the season, I don't think it's going to be
It'll be in May though, won't it? It'll be in May because obviously there's no way they can fit it in April. But
I think
we just want to be in touching distance, don't we?
Yeah. I don't think Sky will take the chance. Actually, I was saying between the last two games, but I don't think Sky will take that chance. That, as you say, it might not matter then. So I think between
but guys, if they do that, right, it'll be a blockbuster, right? If we are above Arsenal, and they are below us, and we are in the fourth position, and something screws up in between, and then the last game becomes the decider.
Well, we're at Norwich the last game of the season. I mean, there's worse than that. I don't know where they are. They must be at home last game of the season.
Norwich are at home, mate. Yeah. Arsenal
Everton.
Yeah, home to Everton.
Yeah, which could be a big relegation fight for Everton.
It could be, yeah.
It could be between it won't be between Norwich and Everton. I think Norwich are gone, aren't they?
Yeah,
Norwich must go.
But Everton still might be
Ranjit or Brian or Billy or John or whoever you are today. I wouldn't want to go into that last game needing to better Arsenal's result. I think we're going to need to do it ourselves because I don't think you can expect whatever Everton have to play for. But if Arsenal have got something to play for and Everton have got something to play for, that Arsenal aren't going to tank them. And Norwich, we should be able to do Norwich, but then again, we all thought we'd do Newcastle. I was at Newcastle. I was at Newcastle. What did we lose? 5-1?
5-1, yeah.
The only thing I'll
So
say is
Sissoko played a blinder.
To Glasgow.
And we bought him right after that.
yeah, we did, yeah.
Back to Glasgow, Bob. It wasn't that far, but I have to tell you that was the longest 2.5 hours ever. I went with my daughter, and I got in the car, and there's Paul Merson doing 5:06:06 saying, and Spurs have just come third in a 2-horse race. So that was the radio off. 2.5 hours of total stunned on silence.
Sorry, on Soccer Saturday, I was watching Soccer Saturday. And you know, they had all the panel watching their games. They weren't even interested in the games they were watching. They went, "Oh, what's that? What's happening in Newcastle? What happened in Newcastle?" And I've just and like you, just switched everything off. Switched all social media off. Everything.
Biggest anticlimax of the season ever.
Yeah,
horrible.
10th. I think it'll be 10th to the 11th of May, because that's just after the Liverpool game. There's no European fixtures, so there's not that rule that it can clash with. I think that's potentially when it's going to be.
That's easy then. Win at Anfield, Liverpool winning the title, then beat Arsenal at home and get fourth. Easy.
That's it.
No, but guys, Arsenal doesn't have any European games. We don't have any European games, right?
No, they don't. They don't like putting games on the same Wednesday or Thursday when there's European games. There's something with.
Oh, you're talking about the actual European games. All right.
Yeah.
There's also the cup final as well, which is around that time.
Yep.
Which Liverpool could be in. So. You might have to rearrange it.
Liverpool will be in Europe as well.
Yeah.
I think no, it's a week later, isn't it? They've got the Champions League. So
yeah, I mean they're on for the quadruple, Bob, aren't they? Liverpool. They're actually on. For
it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, they got City in the semi-final, haven't they?
Yeah, which I think they'll win.
The semi-final of the Champions League is on the 4th of May. So yeah,
is that first or second leg?
Yeah.
Second leg.
Right. Okay.
Why is the final game week of the season?
Hi, Dan.
Hey.
Yeah.
My word, you've grown.
Yeah, he's grown, right.
Good to see you back, Bobby.
Oh, good to see you, mate. Long time no see.
Long time no see.
Yeah, great, mate. Great.
Yeah. So the May the 4th is going to be the European Champions League game?
The second leg of the Champions League for semis is the 4th. And then the last game, Brian, to answer your question, is the 22nd of May.
Okay, so that's the day. That's the day before Brad flies out.
That's right.
Yeah. Who knows? I pray. I mean, I don't pray for this because Brad will then miss a North London derby at home, the first at the new stadium. But I tell you what, if they have to make it after the season and Brad's here, at least he'll see it in the Scotland Yard where the
that'd be brilliant. Yeah.
When are the FA Cup semis, guys? Are they're at the week of their Easter weekend, aren't they? Sharp.
Yeah.
The finals the 14th of May. So
the final is the 14th. No,
there you go.
That can't be right. We're playing Burnley on the 15th.
But the final's on the 14th, Saturday the 14th of May. So
is it?
You know what? This is what I hate. I mean, people will remember. I used to love the FA Cup. Was like the curtain call of the season.
Yeah, on a Sunday. Grandstand, Des Lynam.
Exactly. All day, Des Lynam, all day. Watch them from the hotels on the bus route. The whole day. But that was like the Community Shield was the curtain opener. This was the be all and end all. The FA Cup final was the fight, and I hate. I hate.
You're so right, Brian.
That should be the crown jewel. It shouldn't be. The Premier League should be done, and that should be the swan song to say goodbye season. We'll see you again in August. I hate the way this has all gone. It really takes off it. I mean, I'm interested to see what actually happens with the semi-final now, because there's big shout for having Liverpool and Manchester City game played up north, which I think it should be.
It should be Old Trafford.
Yeah. Why should they all have to travel? You know what I mean? They both those teams hate Old Trafford with a passion, but it's the most convenient for their fans. It's the most convenient for the clubs. Why should they? I mean, I understand Spurs Arsenal has to be at Wembley. I get that. Or a Spurs Chelsea or an Arsenal. Those games have to because of the size of the clubs and the stadiums around it. But there is no need for Liverpool, Manchester City to have to travel all the way down. Travel all the way. It's a nonsense for me. And I hope
there's no trains. There's no trains running that weekend as well.
Exactly.
It's the weekend. But remember, we started the Wembley semi-final trend in '91.
Well, that's the thing. You look back at it, Bob. But back then, there was no stadium that could have looked after that game.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you look at going up to Hillsborough we couldn't do because of the atrocity, but Villa Park or whatever. The trouble there would have been with Spurs and Arsenal fans travelling up to Villa would have just been an absolute massacre. So it had to be Wembley, and I understand why they did that. And obviously, but for Liverpool, Manchester City, it's just a nonsense.
Mm-hmm. I went to the Spurs played Arsenal at Old Trafford in a semi-final, and I went up on good old Spurs travel on the coach. And the way they did it, the police got them to go to different service stations for breaks and go different ways. I didn't see any Arsenal fan at all until on the way home in one of the service stops. There's a couple in there, but the way I organised it, I didn't see one Arsenal fan.
Yeah, but that's the thing, Bob, Brad. That's if you went with the official coaches.
Yeah.
If you were making the way up by train or travel up a group in a car, then it's bedlam.
Yeah.
And like what Yen says, right? They do love a away day in London, though. A bit of a robbing makes their weekend. Yeah. But the thing is that I think in the end of the day, it's all about the money, right? When you travel, when you bring the crowd into London, the hotels get fully booked, right? The nightlife goes up, business is generated, the economy goes up in London. So I guess that's what they all intend to do in the end of the day. But at the moment now, like what you guys been saying, the trains are out at the moment for some kind of service or maintenance kind of thing, right? For the tracks are being done or something. So it'll be ridiculous for all the fans to come down by car or, but if you come down by car, you have to put in petrol, you have to spend money again, you have to buy plane tickets, right? You have to book coach, everything's about the money in there. So as I see it, to tell the truth, I don't care. We're not playing the semi-finals anyway. I don't care. What the hell they do, they let them do it, right? We're not in it.
Eugene, the problem is you can afford the match ticket. You now can't afford the petrol to get to
That's it,
I have to say, Ealing gets a lot of supporters for games at Wembley from up north because normally the hotels around Wembley get sold out pretty quickly, and Ealing's not that far from Wembley, so you get a lot of people, especially in one of the local pubs here. You used to get a lot of support, especially in the rugby finals. You always just get Leeds when Leeds Rhinos or whatever they called used to be in the final. You used to always get them in the local Wetherspoons on the Saturday before the final.
That was when Wembley was being rebuilt. Okay, that's
Chelsea gonna get there.
Right, yeah.
If there's no public transportation, then how are Chelsea gonna get there?
Yes, it's Easter weekend, so there's no trains running whatsoever. So,
did you see? Sorry, guys, they've. I don't know whether anyone else saw it, but the women's game's been postponed tonight due to an outbreak of COVID in the Tottenham squad.
Oh man, I was looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Whenever there's an outbreak of COVID in the women's squad, hope it doesn't spread to the men's squad, right? So that's it, right?
They don't. Do they train together? They don't, do they?
They've got their own. They've got their.
They've got their own facilities.
They've got their own facilities there, but there is some crossover. But it's not. They don't train on the same pitches or eat in the same cafeteria. I don't think. From what I've heard, but also an outbreak of COVID, it never bodes well, does it? Wish it was.
Is that from Arsenal's side?
I was just gonna.
Is that Arsenal again?
That's them trying to postpone the game till Brad Matthews gets here.
That's it, Arteta doing his thing again.
Oh, tell me about it. And then as the bare-faced chutzpah to start complaining they got too many games. What a liberty.
Yeah. That was disgusting. Conte put him in his place.
Just.
I want them to remember. I want them to remember the.
Be careful when you wake up, right? There's a horse head in your bed. Oh dear, that's it. And Dan, how have you been doing, Dan? How's your dad feeling after beating Southampton?
He didn't really care. He didn't watch the game. He knew they were going to win.
But guys, your MCD is going to face Liverpool, right, in the semi-final. So that's going to be something. He's going to be something really, really going to get him a bit edgy about it, right?
Yeah, but right now, mainly what everybody over here is thinking about is the game tomorrow. USA versus Mexico.
USA versus
Oh,
Mexico.
man, that's going to be crazy shit.
Dan,
I'm pretty sure.
Dan, have Canada qualified?
Yeah, I think they've already have. Because I'm pretty sure if
You're playing
USA...
Panama, aren't you? Canada playing Panama, aren't they?
If USA
Jamaica.
wins against Mexico, they qualify for the World Cup.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing a. I'm sure we'll be doing a watch along, won't he?
Oh yeah, Will's doing a watch along for the Mexico USA game, right?
I'm gonna be watching it with my family.
I remember the last one. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. The last one. Yeah, the Gold Cup one. Oh my god.
That was crazy.
That was really crazy.
No, that wasn't that was the CONCACAF final.
CONCACAF, yeah.
CONCACAF final. Okay, CONCACAF final.
The Gold Cup we won on extra time 1-0 in the last minute, but it wasn't as crazy as the 3-2.
Yeah, the 3-2 was the CONCACAF final. Yeah, that one was crazy. We were doing a live watch along with Will. Oh my god, we were shouting and shouting. Oh dear, that was a good one. Guys,
to all get excited. I can't imagine him getting sort of really excited.
Oh mate, Brad, honestly, if you can get to watch it. It was who else was on there? Marcelo. Was Marcelo on it as well?
No, no, he gets excited.
I was.
You
on
was
it.
on.
Will. I was on. Yeah, Will was on. I don't know where Stel was on. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think Stel was. Yeah, Stel, because he was saying, it's probably one of the best games watch alongs he's seen.
Yeah. No, Brian, Canada haven't qualified just yet.
Oh,
okay. How many points do we need?
There's 5 teams in. There's 3 games left apparently, and 5 teams in the running for the 3 places.
I'm pretty sure though, if we beat Mexico,
I think Canada need a point, right?
Yeah, Canada needs a point. Needs one more win or something like that to qualify.
Okay.
I think 1 point. I think 1 point because they have a few more points than us, and we need to beat Mexico to make it to the World Cup. Yeah. And that's like our next game. So.
Okay, so yeah, we got Jamaica on Sunday, I believe.
US always makes it impossible for ourselves.
Yeah. So well, look at me say we.
A lot like Tottenham.
We. It's suddenly become we.
We.
Well, yeah, listen. When it's Canada, as long as Canada aren't playing England, it's we. I've always said this. When it comes to, if it was ice hockey, I'm Canadian because the English ice hockey, I could go in both worlds. But when it comes to football, you'll never ever get me cheering Canada over England ever.
I'm like that with cricket. My dad brought me up with cricket like that. So if England win, obviously England and India, who've got a gas team, I'm India. Yeah. So so it's all good. It's all good. Whoever wins.
You've got Costa Rica tomorrow, then Jamaica, then Panama.
Panama, yeah.
Okay, we need 1 point. Okay, Canada have gone to the World Cup. That's simple.
Yeah, that's simple. But guys, it's coming up to the 1.5 hours time. Usually the midweek show, we don't do it too long. Let's go around the panel for the last thoughts for the international break. Right, let's start with Ian. Last thoughts, international break.
Thoughts. Some interesting chat, the Chelsea thing and what have you. But like everybody else, these weeks, particularly when you come to the business end of the season, drive me mad. And particularly as England haven't even got proper qualification games. And Scotland and Ukraine was meant to be this week. I don't know what date, but of course, quite rightly, that's postponed. So not really any interest at a time when. You just really want to get at it and have that run that Brian
run.
Run.
5 straight wins. So great but big thoughts. Bob, not only bit back online, Bobby, but actually sounding like the Bobby we know and love. So that's brilliant and better health to everybody. Brian, you as well, and those been listening. So that's really all I got to say. Nothing much. Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, and Guguma? Any last thoughts for the international break?
Yes, I just hope all our players do very well for their countries and no injuries. Just stay safe.
That's true. That's true. Right. And Brian, do any shows? Last thoughts?
Yeah, doing a show tonight with Sam Chipek on Tottenham on Tour at 8 o'clock UK time, 4 p.m. Eastern. Then, like I said, as of tomorrow, we're taking over. It'll be We Are Tottenham on Tour. We're taking over Tottenham TV. And yeah, like I said, I mean, all I hope is Romero's suspension doesn't get cut from 2 games to 1, but he doesn't get to play at all, and then he just flies back. Let's hope for that. And like Ian said, the man in the centre right here, Superman. It's great to see him back on stream and be on streams with him, and I can't wait for Saturday. and it's just great to hear him as he is. And long may it continue.
Mm-hmm. And Brad,
well, the same as what Ian and Brian were saying. It's great to see you back, Bobby. And I'll be. I'll probably try and get on Saturday night. I imagine there'll be a massive queue to get on, but so that'll be Saturday night. I probably will watch England Switzerland. I'll be probably shouting at the screen, "Take Kane off! Take Kane off!" Just
no, don't put Kane on. Don't put Kane on.
Don't put him on. Don't put him on. Yeah, just make sure he doesn't get injured, really. But the only good thing about the weekend is I won't be stressed about Tottenham. So that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. And Nick, Ranjit, Barry.
Yeah, we've got a show tomorrow night. I guess my thoughts are obviously I'll be able to recover. I'm nearly recovered after Sunday. I don't know how Brad's feeling, but I'm still was exhausted, and I think I actually fell asleep 4 or 5 times on Sean's stream the other night. So, just because we went on, and because Colin decided to do one, then we went on with Sean and everything else. So yeah, I just for me, great and good luck for Bobby on Saturday. Not that he needs it. I think that'll be the most watched show. The airways are all cleared. I'm glad that you're at home. And you've got some reprobates on there, which I'm sure will help you with Saturday night. Daniel Daigle, obviously, next to you. So
yeah,
I love you, Brian.
I used to love you, brother. I used to love you. It's wavering at the moment. It's like you're playing Cards Against Humanity with me again.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good one. And Dan, haven't seen you some time. How have you been doing? And some last thoughts.
Yeah, hopefully the Argentinian manager doesn't put Romero. I don't even know why he's there. They've already qualified for the World Cup. Hopefully none of our players get injured. Hopefully USA beats Mexico. And good health for all of you guys. Big up to the panel. And I've recently just bought myself an England bucket hat. So I'm going to be wearing it to the Tottenham game.
Nice.
That's nice. Yeah. And of course, save the best for last. Bobby, log your show.
Yeah, you know what? Hold on. There you go. So, first time on camera since. Yes. So, see, I've got a couple of scars there. I think I'm scarred for life, actually, with that. That's due to me being on my face for 3 weeks, being in the prawn position. So, but yeah, I need to sort my fucking beard out. But yeah, so yeah, back on Saturday, 10:30 in the Wall. Got Brian, Danny, some other guests as well. But I will be putting a link out later on in the show for people to come on and say. But I think the greatest thing from today's stream is finding out that Ian's Right Said Fred fan.
Oh, okay. That's good, right? And before we do the closing, let's give a big shout out to guys in the chats, right? Potter Mac, big up to you. Ben Kaufman, Alan, he was here. Oh, and of course Dermot, big up to Dermot, right?
Hey,
and Alan was there, right? Bobby K was here too.
Oh, Jesus, Bobby's on my hit list as well now.
What's wrong with the name Daniel?
Daniel.
No, basically,
why do you think?
If you have a look at why, if I put my glasses on, unfortunately, apart from this beard bit, it's not a good look that I have. I love this, but I don't like it when I put my glasses on. So, yeah.
And of course, Jason Bell, right? And of course, Jens, right? And of course, the guys from the coffee company, Catman Jazz.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I think Dermot's just popped on as well there.
Dermot's popped on. Yep.
Yeah.
Who else do we have? Graham. Don't forget Graham. Right. And Mark Swift. Right. And all the guys in the chats who has been supporting. And guys, don't forget Wayne Bonner too. Go over to Bobby's channel.
57 screens.
Yeah, with the Mr. 57 screens. Right. Give Bobby a subscribe. You haven't subscribed yet. Bob's for TV. Right, of course, Nicholas.
Can I just say, Eugene? Can I just say?
Yeah.
There's not a single person in that chat who hasn't, who didn't send their best wishes or some form of supportive message while I was in hospital. And suffice to say, I'll make I'll say my bit on Saturday, but it's honestly, humbling, overwhelming. Brian knows what I get like when I start speaking about. Honestly, mate, it's heartwarming and really humbling the amount of support that I've got. It's unworthy, but it's absolutely brilliant. And there's no way I feel I would have been able to make it through without the likes of everyone who's in the chat on Twitter and YouTube, the YouTube community. Been absolutely amazing, absolutely brilliant, mate. And it's it's heartwarming. It's really heartwarming.
Yeah, and of course the Eva man, right? Anthony Gray, right? And of course Bob Spur, and not to forget, Danny Korea.
Oh
yeah, Danny's in the chat too. Yeah, and who else do we have? I think we said most of all the names. Did I miss out anyone? Let me go through one more time. Now Kane's an MU fan. And of course, Sushant's from Nepal, right? Thanks for your support, right? And of course, my last thoughts is like most of you guys, right? Bobby, big up to see you again, right? Love. The love is always there for you, right? And quick recovery, right? And Brian, hope you get past your thing in the ear thing.
That means I'm crazy, so that's kind of right. Yeah.
Thing in the ear thing.
You ain't gonna get past that. You ain't gonna get past that.
Oh yeah,
that part of me's incurable. That's gonna be for life.
That's gone, man. That's long gone.
Hey, how can you be in balance? You got a chip on both your shoulders.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, I love you, Brian.
Yeah, and to let Dan know why we call him Daniel Bagel is because last Sunday during the watch along, he wore glasses. He came on to the show.
I was here.
He came on to our he came on to this.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and then he said, "Make sure, right? I look like him, but I'm not him."
Yeah, I look like him exactly. I spent money at the pub, so I spent more than him. So so actually, I didn't. Brian got my drink, so I didn't spend anything at the pub. I did do look up. Yeah, moving on.
You got a drink. You got a drink for a loan to buy.
Yeah, I got it with an option. I got it with an option to buy.
It's paying installments.
Right, and of course, same thoughts here with me, right? No injuries to our players. Let them have a good time out with their international pals, right? Come back fighting for more, right? And guys,
Eugene Harry Kane's going for that record, man. He needs 5 goals to become the equal. So he's going to be trying. You know what England means to him. He's going to be trying.
He's only 5 goals away, Bobby.
5 goals away from equaling
Wayne
Rooney.
Yeah, 5 goals to his international goal record. He wants to break that. Don't forget. He gets
flip
more
away.
here, right? Yeah. And then
he's done 2 hat-tricks, 4 goals, 2 goals. He's capable of doing it.
What you got to remember as well is he became the record away Premier League goal scorer when he scored against Brighton. He did it. Yeah. He beat Wayne Rooney, but he did it in 104 games quicker.
Yeah, same for England.
He's still not going to get the credit, and he's still not going to get any credit.
He's done it in 67 games.
Yeah.
This will be 68 and 69th game to become England's.
I just hope he gets to do it at Wembley. I just hope he breaks it at a game at Wembley.
He'll get more to come along. And of course, right, before we say our last words, right, Brian, and as always.
Okay, 1 second, let me get this right. And as always, Levy
out.